All right, what's up? So today was supposed to be leg day, but admittedly and unfortunately, I decided instead I was going to do chest. It's like the oldest, stereotype or whatever in the book about weightlifting is like, you're supposed to be doing legs, and then boom, you freaking switch it up to something different. Which, okay, in my defense, I tried, to get on a freaking quad extension, and they were taken up for I would say almost the whole time. So I was like, whatever. Definitely gonna hit legs tomorrow though, for sure. So today, anyways, I did chest, shoulders, and something I realized, right, is that it's kind of from Greg Doucette. He talks about going to level 4 or whatever, which it's the intensity of the workout, right? It's level 1. It's not really strenuous. You're not going to failure. You're not, utilizing your your muscles' full strength potential or anything like that. You're not even really breaking a sweat. Level 2, you're maybe going close to failure. Kind of uncomfortable, right? Level 3, you're pretty much going to failure, right? Maybe you have if you really dig deep, you have 1 rep in the freaking tank or whatever. Level 4 is you're going to failure and beyond. God is pulling up, or God is lifting the weights for you pretty much. You are in, it's pretty much unbearable, right? The freaking muscle burn is going to be ridiculous. You're banging out half reps because you can't even physically freaking do a full rep anymore. And I was doing shoulders, right? And recently it's I felt like my shoulders haven't been growing necessarily, but I think I've been kind of going at it a little incorrectly. For shoulders, I've been going straight, towards the idea that I want to get stronger, I guess linearly, right? With muscle size and everything like that. But I don't really think that's necessarily how it works completely. I definitely think that muscles can be large. Somebody with a large muscle could be just as strong as somebody with a smaller muscle, right? Strength isn't exactly, equal, right? And so today I decided, normally I would pick up the 30-pounders to be doing some lateral raises, and, but I picked up I was okay, you know what? I've just been feeling weird about my shoulders recently. I feel like they're not, growing, right? Because I went up to 30, and, 30 is good, but I wasn't really getting that good burn. It's almost it almost feels like you're using other muscles, which maybe you are, right? It's very possible. But sometimes when you do a weight that's a little too heavy, you end up not feeling that same sort of muscle burn sensation for whatever reason. So I picked up the 25s. I was like, okay, I'll lower it by 5 pounds. Let me tell you, on lateral raises, 5 pounds on each arm, that is a gigantic difference. You're going to freaking notice that. It's I don't even know a good analogy, but it's a lot freaking lighter, right? For example, go pick up 10 pounds, then pick up 15 on lateral raises. The 10s are gonna feel like nothing. 15s are gonna be okay. We're starting to get up there in weight a little bit, and so picked up 25s, and for the first couple of sets, didn't go to level 4, right? I was like, okay, we're gonna go to, I would say level 2 to level 3, right? Where you're I was definitely going to failure. I was getting to the point where there's no way I was able to do a full rep, or even really a half rep, because at the end of every lateral raise, I freaking hold them out, extendo style, okay? And I just hold the weight there, kind of let's say you're holding you hold one of the weights right out in front of your chest, or right out in front of you, and let's say it's 10 pounds. After a minute, it's gonna feel like 50 pounds. You know what I mean? That's kind of the whole idea. But my the way that I go about it, or the way that I look at it, is the longer your muscles are under tension, the better. The longer you're gonna get that burn, the lactic acid, and hypertrophy, blah 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 blah. So got the 25 pounders, and on I would say my 4th or 5th set, I was like, okay, we're gonna bring this to level 4. right? I was like, okay, I'm gonna do everything in my power to get beyond that point of failure, even past where I do the like little, hold the weights out or whatever. And so I think I got to like rep 22 or 23, held the weights out. The burn in my shoulders, and not even just shoulders, the freaking traps, right, was diabolical. Like, the burn was out of this world. And then after that, I just kept repping out probably to like maybe 30. And it is like, you can't get a full rep. Like, like, there's just no freaking way you're getting that weight all the way up. But you can do little mini reps. And let me tell you, on lateral raises, when you get to the point where you are like at failure on lateral raises, you're feeling that burn, even doing a freaking 1/8 rep, right? If you just keep on going, it doesn't even matter. Your shoulders are going to be burning the entire time. Shoulders are like a weird muscle that they just burn. Like, it's a burn almost not like any other muscle in the body, right? The only other equal sort of burn sensation is maybe legs. Quads, not hamstrings, but that's probably about it. And I would say that would be on, like, let's say you get on like a squats or hack squat or whatever, and you're doing like sets of 50, right? I did that like the other day. I was doing, I was trying to do the what is it? Not Mike Mincer. I can't remember. Tom Platz, right? Tom Platz, he kind of talks about doing 40, 50 reps. So I decided to give it a shot, do like a lighter weight you can handle for a lot of reps. And that burn was ridiculous. I mean, like, freaking crazy. So tomorrow, probably going to do something similar on hack squat. But yeah, definitely if you're noticing like maybe a little bit of a plateau, I definitely feel like getting to that level 4 is what'll like break you out of that plateau. Which I'm not necessarily saying that I was in a plateau. It's just like, it's kind of how I've been feeling recently. But, I could be wrong, right? Like, sometimes you get in the gym and you start looking in the mirror and it's like, what you're seeing might not exactly be what everyone else is seeing, because you're being hypercritical of your own physique. So, just keep that in mind. And no matter what, you got more in the tank for sure, right? Like, and I don't know, if you're not feeling the burn in the muscle, try lowering the weight. Even if it's like a weight that feels light to you, right? Let's say you're doing, let's say 185 feels pretty light to you on the bench press. Rep out 185 for like 15 reps or something like that, or just go to failure. And I feel like utilizing a lighter weight for more reps sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes can be beneficial to really get that muscle like awake almost. You know what I mean? And like, you'll start to really feel that. For some reason, the higher reps lets you feel the burn a little more, right? Like the lower reps, you're not going to feel as much of a burn on like a 5 to 6 sort of rep set versus like a 15 to 20 rep set. That towards the 15, like towards the upper range of those reps, you're going to start feeling that burn like freaking crazy. So, I don't know the science behind it, but I know utilizing higher reps sometimes is definitely beneficial. There's something to the burn, right? Like, I feel like you're damaging the freaking muscle. That's what causes hypertrophy, right? And then obviously the like lower rep range sets are more for like strength, but then again, strength also kind of coincides with muscle size. So, it's kind of like a balancing act. I feel like it really is. That's why, like, you'll be watching Sam Sulik or whatever, and he'll talk about, oh yeah, I'm going to utilize like a heavy set, then I'm going to utilize like a light set, and just pump, do like a freaking ton of them. And I feel like it's just like a balancing act, really, But definitely go to freaking level 4 every now and again. You know what I mean? It's been like, not that like I don't go to level 4 all the time, but sometimes, sometimes you just gotta constantly be like, all right, I'm gonna freaking kill it on this set. I'm gonna go past my point of failure, even if I'm doing freaking, like I said, 1/8 reps. You're just pumping them out. Like, or even just holding the weight stagnant. If you can't move the freaking weight, hold it stagnant. Put some, like, do what you can, right? So, I know you got, and at the end of the day, that's definitely going to lead to more muscle growth. Like, there's just no freaking way. It doesn't. Obviously, let the muscle recover. But if you're letting that muscle recover, getting, like, good sleep, you know, doing this and that and everything that you're supposed to be doing, eating protein, it's like, what is your muscle going to do? Stay stagnant when you're going to freaking level 4, pushing it to failure beyond, like, what it is even remotely comfortable doing? There's just no freaking way. You're going to, like, I don't care if you're natural or enhanced. Obviously, if you're enhanced, it's like you're going to clearly gain more muscle, you know, but if you're natural, you're still going to freaking gain muscle. So keep that in mind, you know, the further you go to failure, it's like, how much effort are you putting into it? If you're putting, like, the more effort you put in, the more pain you go through, obviously the bigger the results, you know. Obviously genetics have a big factor or whatever. It doesn't matter who you are, though. You could have the shittiest genetics on planet Earth. You go to failure and beyond, you're gonna grow, right? You still have muscles, you know. You still have the muscle, and the muscle can grow. It's just you might be unfortunate and have, like, worse genetics, but regardless, if you're in the gym, you may as well utilize that time effectively, you know. And even if you have bad genetics, you're in the gym because you want to look better, right? So you may as well just freaking do it, you know? Because I can promise you, half-assing it in there, you might get a little bit of, you know, you might get this and that, but you're not gonna be, first off, utilizing those newbie gains like you need to be, and second off, it's gonna take you a lot longer to reach your goal than, you know, you might really want. So, yeah, obviously eat, sleep, protein, freaking, and, you know, obviously step one is getting in the gym. You know, get in the gym, and then another thing about getting to level 4 is once you, like, go to level 4, once you go past that point of failure, there's, like, this switch in your head that clicks, and it's like, I can do that. Like, you know, before you do it, it's almost like, oh God, you don't want to do it so much because you know it's going to be painful. You know, it's going to suck, kind of, right? But once you get it done, you're like, okay, it did kind of suck, but I did it, and I'm fine. And so, like, what happened was I went to the locker room, right, just to check out the pump. The pump in the shoulders was ridiculous, right? Freaking ridiculous. The thumbnail of the video will probably be the pump I had, but it was crazy. And after that, I was like, okay, I did one set to level 4. Let's go. You know, I'm gonna put my shirt back on and go do one more set to level 4. That's exactly what I did. And yeah, I mean, that's just the way to freaking do it. Now, I probably won't hit shoulders for like 2 to 3 more, you know, I don't know, something about shoulders, they kind of heal quickly, right? They don't really get that sore, but, yeah, I'd say 3 or 4 more days, boom, shoulders, level 4. And there's something about shoulders, they just make you feel so good after a workout. I think it's because they hurt so bad, like, the burn is so crazy. It's like, all those feel-good hormones get released, right? Your body's trying to, like, kind of equalize that, like, real rough feeling you get when your muscles are, like, in pain. So, yeah, for freaking shoulders, that's another thing. Lateral raises are by far the, like, they're just, like, goated, right? I don't care. You could not put a machine. There's, like, a lateral raise machine. It does the exact same thing. So, like, whatever, like, you can utilize that too. But if you don't have a freaking machine, a lateral raise machine, which I'm not fortunate enough to have a gym that has that machine, because I would definitely use it. But if you don't have a machine, get some dumbbells. It's like, you cannot beat lateral raises. I'm sorry to say. They're hard. They're rough, right? But you cannot, like, the harder the workout, the more you feel it in that muscle, the, like, more uncomfortable that muscle gets, the better. The more you're going to grow. It's that simple. So, yeah. Anyways, talk to you later, guys. See ya.